liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Anna, what do you have first for us this evening?
All right, here are the minutes from last meeting.
Make a motion to approve the minutes?
Second. Have a motion and a second to approve the minutes as emailed to us. All in favor?
Next, I have the payroll register.
Make a motion, we pay for the payroll registry?
Second. Got a motion and a second to pay the payroll register. All in favor?
Then I have our claims packet.
I'll make a motion, we pay the claims packet?
Second. Okay. Have a motion to pay the claims packet as emailed to us. Have a second. All in favor?
Here I have your Rotary Club agreement.
And I got a letter from the Rotary Club. I've been talking to Jimmy Dean, and he's asked if because of his, where he lives and what time he gets off work, if he said that the letter would be good enough. He's been in every year to ask to use this. He's provided his certificate of liability, and Terry's already got it. So you guys have no trouble. I'll entertain a motion to let Rotary use the courthouse lawn this year.
I'll make a motion, Rotary, use the courthouse lawn for the corn festival?
Okay, got a motion second, all in favor? And they will not be opening up the doors for the bathrooms. They did not ask for them specifically because they set up porta potties. That's been a question before. Okay, this is a single signature. You need to amend your motion?
I'll amend my motion that Bob signs the agreement from the Rotary Club.
All in favor? What else, Anna?
Here is that old jail appraisal I stuck a packet in
Okay.
all of your guys' stuff.
We are gonna accept that. I'm not gonna make any mentions of what it was yet because I'm still trying to get a second one. I don't want that number to be out there to jade an appraiser that might give me a second appraisal. So we have received one and we'll just make a motion that we accept this appraisal. Go forward.
I'll second, or you make a motion?
I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion that we accept the appraisal.
Okay. got a motion, second. All in favor? Okay. Take that under advisement. Anything else, Aaron?
Things that you guys have tabled before. This looks like an estimate from Marlowe and Sons.
Yes, we tabled that. I have been desperately looking, and I think, is Doc here this evening? Have you had any luck with anybody else getting another bid?
I communicated with the property owner, I want a third person they can reach out to for a bid.
Okay,
Somebody Passion Water recommended that they use, and she has Langford too, so she's got two other people to call.
and the one that I talked to you, he doesn't have a boring machine, so he didn't want to bid it.
Correct.
So you're still waiting on at least a second one then, right? Okay, so we're gonna leave that tabled then.
Another thing is Edge IT. That was tabled.
As far as signing the contract or paying the bill?
I believe paying the bill just says, it's a quote, actually. All the quotes.
Okay, I think that's the one that Terry recommended, since we still haven't gotten the Corsica's contract broken yet.
That's correct.
He didn't want to sign another one, he didn't make us be.
Okay, so just table it.
Just keep that table. We're still working through the logistics of trying to get that figured out. And it's not working.
Motion to table.
Okay, I have a motion to table this. Okay.
You making a motion?
Yes.
Okay, I'll second that motion.
Okay. A motion, a second, all in favor?
And that's all that I have in my packet.
Thank you, Anna. Okay.
I have a question. Speaking of contracts, have we figured out anything with Joint about getting all the county departments on one internet service? And then, I knew Amy was supposed to be working on that,
I
but
say
I don't
somebody was
know.
working on it. I haven't heard anything about it for a while.
That's what I wanted to try to figure out, if we've come up with anything yet on that.
Anna, do you know anything about that?
I haven't heard anything.
Because I think it started because you were,
We're on an account with, so I know Amy has discussed it with me that we're on an account with multiple people, so they have to divide it up. I don't know who all is on that account.
okay. Do you know if the Park and Lake got on there, Lynn? They did? Okay.
The extension office out
Yeah,
there.
because we were looking at
Yeah.
several different places trying to get them all on there to save that
The
money. so-
veterans office, I don't know.
I think the Veterans Office got on there when they moved.
Okay.
So, yeah. Okay. So we're still working on that.
Yeah, because I think we can get a bigger discount if we merge them all together.
We
and
can,
then-
yes.
I think that's a good idea.
So.
Yeah, and it was proposed to us to do it that way, and I think we've been working to it, trying to get figured out with the other ones what we can do. Anything else for you?
No, that's the only question I had.
Jerry, what do you have for us this evening?
A few things. One, I have a flood damage prevention ordinance. We have one of these in place. However, DNR is requiring it to be updated. Most of the changes are minor, but if we don't keep an updated floodplain ordinance, our residents won't be eligible to participate in the National Flood Insurance Program. And I think we have 5 or 6 properties currently that are in that program.
Okay.
So I have the order, I think I emailed you guys a copy a couple months ago and then again about a week ago.
You did.
But the changes are pretty minor. And
Yeah.
in addition to that, we're required to pass an updated floodplain development permit application.
Okay.
So,
And the people that are eligible have to fill out that application, or is that for us?
no, that's not for, application to the insurance program. That's for if you're developing, you can't develop in the floodplain, but if you're trying to develop in the flood fringe or somewhere close to the floodplain, you have to fill out this application.
Okay, so that's for individuals to do, that's not for us.
That's for individuals.
Okay, that's what I wanted to clarify, so everybody.
But then there's several action items I have to take after they fill it out and send to me.
Okay,
And there's certain things I can approve, and there's certain things has to be forwarded on to DNR to approve.
okay, okay. So you need 2 different motions for those?
I would like to, because there's not a signature page for this, and that way your minutes will be clear, you approve the application and the ordinance.
I'll make a motion to approve the ordinance, right now.
I got a motion, do I have a second? I got a motion, second, all in favor for the ordinance? Okay,
And I'll also make a motion to approve the application as well.
okay, I have a motion to approve the
Okay.
application, a second, all in
Okay.
favor?
I put the signature page on top there for you guys. The next, and these, the reason I'm talking about these things is because NDOT requires you to have them in place. I'll copy that.
You better
and I'll
go
give
back.
you-
Yeah,
Yeah. And NDOT requires you to have these things in place to be eligible for community crossings grants. That's their hold they have on you. And what I have here is a Title VI non-discrimination plan. Now,
the
this
Title VI what?
non-discrimination plan.
Okay.
Now, we have this exact ordinance in place, but they now make you update it every year. So there's no changes in what we have now. As you can see, it was originally approved in 2021, updated in August 2025, now this one's August 2026. I have to have this done before September 1st is when the community crossings application process opens.
Okay.
So there's no change in our current ordinance, just needs recertified, yeah.
Have a motion to approve this?
Make a motion, Mitch.
I have a motion, a second?
I'll second that motion.
We got a motion, second, all in favor? What else, Jerry?
The next thing I have is, there again, to be eligible for community crossings, you have to have a pavement condition assessment plan. They've added, last year they added that you had to go take a course with LTAP, and become a certified PASER rating, which I did. This year they've added the requirement that you have to have a second certified PASER rating and pick a percentage of your roads and double check them, compare how consistent you are, discuss where your discrepancies are. Well, 850 miles of road is becoming unworkable. So I've looked around, there are 30 counties in Indiana, including Knox County, using a system called Xylytics. And they give you a couple of iPhones and amounts for your vehicles, and you drive every road each way. and their AI automatically rates the road. It sees signs, gives you sign inventory. It can identify potholes if you want it to do that. It's a pretty complete system. And I talked to Matt because Matt Holden, county engineer, prior county engineer in Knox County. He's had it for about 3 years and loves it. Like I say, 30 counties have it. The cost of it is $23,000. I just wanna bring that to your attention. Also, with the changes in the funding, they're now talking about having an enhanced asset management plan.
What does that amount to?
They haven't defined it yet. The legislature required you to have an enhanced asset management plan, but they didn't define it. But I think we're heading this way anyway.
How accurate is that whatever that biolytics?
It's,
I mean,
it's been evaluated, and you have to turn this plan into LTAP at Purdue. They're the ones that do it for the state, and LTAP has tested it and approved it for use for your asset management.
Does that cost per year? Or
Yeah, that's per year.
I assume so.
What's that?
I assume so.
Yeah. So I'm not asking if there's anything tonight, I just want you, well, if you want to prove it, that's fine, or I can have them come in and do a demo for you in a meeting, a little presentation if you would like.
I would like to see a presentation of it before
Yeah, they'd be happy to do that.
Yeah.
And then is that something that you have available in your budget to sustain?
I have
or we
money,
have to-
I have money available in my budget this year.
This year, okay.
Now, however, I may have to come to the council to move it from one location to another, but I wouldn't be asking for additional money.
But in future years?
Yeah,
Is that something we're gonna have to add into the budget?
Yeah, we just put it back.
Okay.
You want that back on Bridge?
Yeah. Next thing I have is, this is the time of the year where I reserve our road salt, so we can make sure we have it. You know how supply gets critical sometimes. This is just reserving it. I typically assign these, send them back. We reserve 50 tons per district. Do any of you want to try to reserve more than that?
Well, I think we thought we were gonna get close last year and then we got lucky and didn't have to.
Yeah,
we-
but
We
some,
were
you
gonna
know,
try to find some.
you know, you have plenty of room, you don't have plenty of room, you know, sometimes you still got a lot from last year, you don't have room for more than that when they haul it, so just I'll give you guys the opportunity to reserve an additional amount if you want.
What's your recommendation?
Is it gonna snow?
Yeah, we may get 50 tons
Yeah,
and
year to
never
year,
use it.
that's the problem.
Yeah.
And
We'll
then
make
we're
it
out that money.
75 tons, not have enough.
We've been able to source it there's been times we haven't been able to get it, there's times, Kennedy or a trucking company has been able to grab some on a backhaul for us, and we've got it cheap, so, I have no issue with staying what we've always done. It's just if we get a lot of snow, we could run out.
And does anybody have any stockpiled from last year?
I have a very small pile.
Okay, I think we've got a little bit left from last year.
I think probably not much though.
Not much.
Because everybody was scrambling for salt last year,
Right.
and you couldn't get it. So
Right.
that's the reason I thought I'd bring it up.
Do you want to talk to the road bosses?
Yeah.
On that and get their input on that too
Yeah.
before we. We've got,
There's one.
we've got one here, but there's two that aren't here, so yeah.
You don't want to speak.
And I wasn't gonna ask him,
You don't like the word snow.
And the last thing I have is DLZ gave us that on-call contract, and you guys wanted an amount for the traffic control plan. They've come back with an amount of $1,500, but then again, we won't be authorizing them to go ahead with that until we can get a payment method set up directly, so, because we're not paying the bill.
Okay.
So, but,
Are we still gonna utilize that?
Oh, yeah.
I think we should.
but, so if
I
you want.
wanted to ask that question.
Yeah, if you want to, and that's just for this one task.
Okay.
So generally, when it's on call, you just sign it, you're not committed to anything, and then you approve specific tasks. This traffic control plan task was $1,500.
Have we talked to Rick about that?
Specifically,
Yeah.
no, I don't think so.
About getting a payment how we're gonna get that paid for. I mean, it's in the road use agreement, so.
Yeah, it's
But-
in the agreement, but I've mentioned to him once, but it's been a while.
Okay.
I mean,
Cause we need to utilize them now.
I would think that, I don't know, how much time under that invoice do we have to pay it? You know?
Well, it's not an invoice, it's just the authorization for up to that much work.
Okay.
But I wouldn't even begin the authorization until we had the payment system set up.
I mean, I assume, we could do it like we've done some of the other costs that they paid, where Rick just actually sent them the invoices and they paid them.
Do we wanna talk about that before we commit into that?
Well, that's all I'm saying is you're not committing to doing anything
Okay.
other than,
So we can deal with it when it happens, is that what you're saying?
no, I'm saying that if you just approve up to this amount, then we do nothing, we owe nothing. When Rick gets it set up, we're ready to go.
Okay, so you just need us to approve up to that amount.
Yeah,
tonight?
yeah.
No,
Yeah, that's all I'm asking. And there again, we won't be authorizing them to begin until we have, through Rick, set up the payment system.
Okay,
I'll make that motion.
okay, I have a motion, do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Have a motion, and a second, all in favor?
I'll email Rick and broach the subject with him.
Looks like it's set up for one signature.
You wanna amend your motion?
I'll make the motion, Bob sign it.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
It's with DLZ, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, correct.
And the only other thing I have is, I kind of skipped over, goes kind of pairs with the Title VI plan. We also have a ADA transition plan. We updated that last year. One of the deficiencies that were noted was, we're okay on our east entrance, but, you know, they're picky. They think we need signs at the other entrances saying there's handicap accessible entrance on the east side.
Specific handicapped entrance signs.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I can have those made
Just get it
and
done.
get them up. I just want to let you know what was
Yeah.
going on.
Yeah, just get it done.
Just do it, yeah.
Okay, and that's all I have.
Okay, thank you, Jerry. Terry, what do you have for us this evening?
Only thing I got is that I did receive all of the issues with regard to Corsica finally.
Okay.
And so I've now forwarded them to their attorney,
Okay.
and I'm waiting on a response.
Anything else?
That's it.
Hey, Terry, I didn't bring it up. I thought maybe you would, but you forwarded that email about the easement down on County Road 50, that, from the.
Oh, yes,
yeah,
from
Drummond,
Drummond.
yeah.
Yeah, I think I sent it to all you guys.
Refresh my memory on that.
Do you remember Kyle Esslinger had the landlocked property, and somehow we have an easement that comes off of 50 there right before the railroad
Yeah,
trestle? Yeah. Apparently Sam Drummy has a client, I don't remember the name of it.
I can find out.
Anyway, that also has a parcel back there that would be landlocked on that access to the easement. So they're just asking for the same easement we gave to Esslingers.
And I assume we need to sign the paperwork, just like we did with Esslingers?
Yeah, yeah, I don't think the paperwork is ready, I think they're just, bringing it to our attention, so make sure there's no issues with preparing it and bringing it to you guys.
And are you familiar with that? Because
I am
before
not.
your time.
Yeah,
Jerry,
I'm
you
not.
wanna, do you need to give him any more
Is it Dump
explanation?
Road?
Well, where it goes underneath the viaduct, where that old trail went straight
Mhm.
back there, it's back in there, cause Kyle's got a place. He's at the end of the line, isn't he?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, and somehow or another, the county has that easement. I don't know how it ever happened.
Cause I don't think it was ever developed as a road.
No.
Yeah, it's always just been a path, as long as I
But
know.
they just want the county's official permission to use it, otherwise they're
Yeah,
landlocked.
But they already gave it to one, they might as well give it to the second one that's landlocked.
Yes.
I mean, that's how I feel, yeah.
If you go on with the meeting, my phone's spinning right now, but when it comes up, I can give you more details.
Okay.
Wait, I may have it now. Let's see.
been retained by Melvin and Travis Wright, who are seeking an easement from the commissioners in order to access real estate they own just east of Sullivan. Commissioners previously granted an easement to Kyle and Amy Esslinger. The easement requested by the Wrights would be over the same lane, so we'd just be asking for identical easement from the county to the Wrights. I've attached the Wrights vesting deeds and a copy of the Esslinger easement.
And that's bucking it.
I mean, we gotta be fair to everybody, so.
That's what I figured too. I'd say.
Just want me to respond and tell him if he prepares it then?
Yeah, if there's, yeah, we'll do. I mean, I can't say pass it, cause I can't speak for the other two, but my eyes, I think we just need to be,
Do you want some action on that tonight, Terry? We can make a motion right now if you want us to.
Well, you're not gonna have it signed, so I would say we just go ahead.
I'd say
I'll
go
tell
ahead
him
with
to go ahead and send it to us, then we'll
Okay.
officially approve it when we get it.
Okay.
sounds good.
I think we're all amenable to it.
That's all I have.
Thank you, Jerry. Terry, did you have anything else?
That's all.
Thank you, Terry. John, what do you have for us this evening?
Well, they opened up 48 and 41 in Jasonville tonight, so it's back open again.
Good deal, good deal.
That's it.
Brent,
Well, got more truck issues.
so to speak?
We had our semi-trailer turnover down at the district down there at the unit. Had some rock on it, it shifted and the trailer went over, nobody was hurt. But so we got an insurance claim put out on it, don't know how much it's gonna be just yet, but other than that, you know, we're just glad everybody's okay, so
Anything else?
that's all I got.
Okay. All right, I have some copies up here, but the council has proposed, and this is a work in progress, but just for advisement, we're going to council has put together, and we're gonna agree to try to get the same policy for everybody. Public meeting speaking and decorum, policy. So there's a few copies up here, if people wanna grab and look at them. We're gonna work with the council, their lawyer and our lawyer, to make sure we got everything right, so that everybody gets the same terms, meetings don't get out of hand, and we get to take care of our business in an orderly fashion. Eric, do you want to speak, or does your? Okay, Josh wants to speak. We have been talking about trying to do some upgrades to the courthouse, and we've talked to some people about it, and they've got some ideas, well, proposal on how to move forward with this. So Josh, if you can have the floor if you want to talk to us.
Yeah, I always like to do these as kind of I'll stand here so you all can see. Open format question, so I guess before I roll into it, how familiar are you guys with BOT, or do you want me to start at the beginning?
They don't know anything about that, so you start from the beginning, I think, so.
Perfect. So BOT is a process, stands for build, operate, transfer. When you're a local government, there's a handful of ways that you're restricted to procure a project. You know, any of these guys, if you're doing something at home, you can call up a couple contractors. It's not that simple if you're a local unit of government. You either have to do section 36-112, which is a public works project. You can do a design build project, or you can do build, operate, transfer. That's build, operate, transfer is as close as you can get to private development of a project. And it does a couple things. It allows you to get your whole team together early on in the process of you bring together your architects, your engineers, your contractors. You get everybody in the room together to say, what's our goals, what's our objectives, how do we make sure we get to the end in the most cost-effective way throughout that process. We call that the scoping period. And so how do we get into a BOT? Well, it's simple. It's really a 4-step process. So the first thing, before a local government can use this, if you're not the state or you're not Marion County, it just says you've got to pass a resolution that says we can put this tool into our toolbox. Doesn't mean you ever have to use it, but that's the first thing that you have to do before you can even consider using it. Next, just like you would do a whole host of projects, you have to put out an RFPQ. You have to advertise it twice.
Can you explain what an RFP
I said there's
is?
people
Yeah.
out here don't have a clue what
Yeah,
that
no,
is.
it's great. So request for proposals and qualifications is what it stands for. With this process in particular, you're often undefined in what your project is. And so you're not saying, hey, contractor, give me a hard bid today, because you may not know what that project is even gonna be. And so you say, I want qualifications of my team. I wanna start with a team. Okay, and that's what your RFPQ is. So you put that out, you have a selection committee, you decide who's the most responsive team you wanna start with. Then you go into what we call a scoping period. And what that really says is, this is, you know, I always liken it to a dating relationship. You know, you've started the process, you haven't inked anything, there's no wedding ring on here yet. You're going through the process, coming back and saying, here's what we're gonna offer, here's the price we can do it for. If the committee likes it, and the commissioners like it, and the council likes it, you say, great, now we're willing to have a public hearing and sign a contract. That's the last step of this process, would be an actual public hearing. If you don't like it, with this process, you can just say, thanks, but no thanks, we're gonna move on. You can either go to a new team, or you can go to a whole new procurement method. You don't have to continue on with it. And so, I mean, in a nutshell, those are the 4 steps of a BOT. I'm happy to answer questions that you guys have.
I think from talking to Eric over the last few days, he's kind of helped me understand a little bit, and I know, these guys were on a call the other day too, to kind of listen to it too, so.
And I can share, so I thought it was, you know, a load of crock when I first heard about it. So when I started, I was county administrator for Morgan County for about 7 years, and the commissioners told me, go learn about this. And I said, guys, this doesn't work. Happy to do it, and sat down and met with some people. By the time we were done, the commissioner said, we will not ever procure a project again that's not BOT, because it was such a seamless process for them.
And I'll speak to Eric, when we did our jail, we did a design build project, correct?
It was a design bid build.
Design bid build.
Construction
So-
manager advisor.
Pretty much old style
Yep.
building. But since then, from all the commissioners that I've talked to that are building jails, aren't the majority of them going with bots now?
What I would say is that, in municipalities, county government, bot is definitely becoming a preferred method. A big part of it, as Josh talked about, is you're transferring the risk to the actual bot team, build, operate, transfer team. Because as you get that guaranteed maximum price, that's what it is. You know, there are some allowances in that guaranteed maximum price, but unless you go out and say, hey, I'm gonna build another building out here on the site, that is the price. And as Josh said, we just went through a major renovation of the Morgan County Courthouse, built in 1857 to 59, and it went through a bot process, and it's been very successful, as well as a lot of other courthouse projects before that.
This is my first experience with it, but I've talked to other commissioners throughout the state, and it seems to be like Derek said, the path everybody's wanting to choose right now. And you said the first step is for us to pass this resolution, whether we ever use it or not, but that's the statute, the way it reads, we have to do that resolution before we can do anything else.
Yeah, that puts the tool into your toolbox.
Buying the hammer to put in the toolbox. Okay. Has anybody got this resolution printed up or anything? Okay. Question, sir?
Could I ask a question, make sure that we include the RBO language with the, packages whenever they start bringing them in, for your bidder packages? So that's included, so later on down the line, we don't have to be kicking bids out.
And I don't know how that works, but I know we have an RBO signed, and you're familiar with, Eric, you're familiar with our RBO because we went through it at the jail. So I don't know how that works in a bot situation. I would assume since we're spending money and we have that RBO, it still has to be utilized.
As long as it's above the threshold, which I would assume if you're working on this place to be well.
Yes, it's gonna be above the threshold, I'm sure. So,
You know, within the BOT, you can put, local communities can put whatever enhancements or extra criteria into the process that they want to. It gives you a lot more flexibility than you have in other procurement methods.
Does that answer your question, Buzz? Okay. I didn't have anybody print this up because I didn't know for sure what we were gonna do this evening. Do Do you guys wanna go ahead?
Can we pass it and then sign it at the next meeting, or?
You could, but I mean, probably makes more sense just to have it here and something to do it. I mean, there's not any big rush to this, right?
I don't think so. I mean, whatever you guys are comfortable with.
It's up to you though, Brad, whatever you guys wanna do.
I mean, that's fine,
I mean, if you wanna, we can,
because like you said, we're not obligated
Right,
with anything, we're just trying to get the statute, the resolution put in, so we have that option to,
cause it starts with that. Starts the
so.
process, yeah, we have to get that in place. So, okay. And is it a single signature, or does it need all three signatures, do you know?
I think I have all three on there, but you can do it however you prefer.
so did he prepare one? Do we have it?
It was what I emailed to you, but I didn't ask anybody to print it out.
Hold on a second.
Oh, that came. Oh, good question, Terry.
Let me see if I can get
It's been
it.
a week or two. It was, well,
Found it, I think.
okay.
Come on. See what this says. We could have somebody go print it, right, if you wanna do it tonight.
We'll do it, yeah.
Let me see if this is it. I think this is it.
Just grab their printer real quick.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, if somebody wants to print it, print it. Yeah, we're all looking at you, Teresa.
I'm trying to see, this is Bob, this is the last thing you sent me, but this is talking more about a, RFPQ committee.
Is that language in that resolution, the RFPQ committee? This is before that, isn't
Yes,
it?
that's right. That language is in that resolution.
It
Okay.
was?
Yeah.
So it looks like this. Is this what you had said? Just wanna make sure.
Yep, that's it.
That's it?
Okay.
You want me to,
Forward it to Teresa.
I'll need her email.
Okay. Give him get with him, get your email and forward it and print that up.
Okay, well, great.
Or forward it to Anna, you probably
Yeah,
got
you
Anna.
You wanted to put your email in there.
You
So
don't
do
want anything else from me before I sit down?
Any other questions for Josh? Okay. You
Thanks
guys
for
want-
taking the time yesterday, or yesterday, was it yesterday? No, Friday.
Friday, yeah.
Apologize, Friday, it's been a long weekend. But thank you for taking the time to explain that to us,
Yep.
you know, because that's, you know, something we need in this courthouse is an update, so, historical value.
You see, it's the attachments there. It's what
Do you guys want to go ahead and make a motion and vote on it? Wait to sign it till we get a copy back?
We'll just wait till we get it back and we'll
Okay.
address it.
Let's just table this for now then. A motion to table it?
Statement.
Okay, got a second?
I'll second.
Okay,
Table.
motion second, all in favor? Okay, so we will go on, okay. And to make a clarification, Lynn, you asked a question last meeting about the community enhancement agreement. I dug into it a little bit to find out what's going on. We are waiting on the IRS to give us an EIN number to set that foundation up. So. They tell, after we dug into it, they tell me that's not uncommon for that to happen. So we didn't realize that up front, knowing it was gonna take that long. So, but I just wanted to let you know, since you had asked about it last time, you're here again.
I'm here to ask about it again, not that I'm really anxious.
Yeah, I know, and that's the information I have. We're waiting on the EIN number from, I think everything else is set up, just waiting on that number to come in from IRS. Okay. All right. Jason, you have anything this evening?
I don't have anything, no.
Okay. Katie, you have anything this evening? Okay. Okay. I don't have anything under old business this evening. Under new business, I have Ashley French.
Yeah, go ahead.
What is that thing that you guys are gonna sign? Sorry.
It's a resolution for a BOT, BOT, build, operate, transfer.
Okay. And then who motioned and who seconded?
We're tabled it right now.
Right. okay.
John motion, I second.
We're gonna come back to it when we get it down here.
Okay, sorry, I just had to do those things.
Hold on just a second, actually, I gotta ask Jerry something real quick, sorry. That speed limit sign out on 54X, the one that the data center put up, or the ARCO or whoever put it up there, is that a state mandated sign to where they can start writing tickets? Or do we have to have an ordinance in place for that?
No, I'm not aware of an ordinance out there. They did that for the construction workers. I talked, Colt, I think, called me Friday, and I will get you guys a speed study so we can get an ordinance behind it.
Okay.
And then we'll probably have to put up a couple of our own signs, just,
Because we need something enforceable out there, we just don't need visibility, we need enforceable action, so.
and at the same time as that one, I'm probably gonna bring you one for 300 South.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, Ashley.
Okay, are we ready to give Ashley the floor for a
Yes.
couple minutes now? Go ahead.
Sorry.
Okay, so good evening, my name is Ashley French. I'd like to begin with a simple statement. In absence of information, people fill in the blanks. When information is limited, people naturally begin to speculate, rumors develop, assumptions are made. I'm guilty of it, as I'm sure many people in this room are guilty of it as well. Whether someone supports data centers or opposes them, I believe most people would agree that Sullivan County should have a thoughtful plan for managing growth before it happens, rather than trying to react after decisions have already been made. My purpose tonight isn't to debate one specific project or to accuse anyone of anything. My purpose is to better understand what role county government has in preparing for future large-scale industrial development and what decisions, if any, the board intends to make moving forward. So I appreciate the opportunity to ask some of these questions. Before I ask my questions, could you help the public understand what role you as the commissioners believe you have in planning for future large-scale industrial development?
One of you guys want to address that for a second?
One thing, because we don't have zoning, that's the biggest stumbling block we have here, and people don't want it, And when you have a private sale, the only thing we have is the road agreements. That's the only enforcement or whatever, to get, tax in for the county, that type of thing. So that's what the major problem is, we're in a perfect storm right now, so to speak, because you got two grids coming through Sullivan County, you got two big national pipeline, gas lines coming through here. So with no zoning, we got plenty of water. We're looked at all over, like Shelford said here, about a month ago, they have a data center looking at that area. We've not been contacted about it or anything, but that's what they had said. So, but there's a lot of different entities, looking at Sullivan County, and it comes in, they're usually here a year prior to you even know anything about them. They get your newspaper listed, get on Facebook, they do all the due diligence trying to figure out what people are thinking and what's available, So that's what, but we have no, like I said, without the zoning, there's lawsuits being filed now because counties are trying to change things in the process, and one county in Indiana sued for $70 million, and it looks like they're gonna lose. We can't afford that.
Do you recall which county that was?
I think it's North David's, Berry's.
David's in Putnam County, whatever's north.
Is that
Hendricks?
Hendricks?
Montgomery,
East.
north of Putnam.
Something in there. I get the information for you.
Okay,
And here recently, there's another one in Texas. They lost $100 million lawsuit to the county.
okay.
So you gotta be real careful. Like I said, our attorneys in Indianapolis already warned us, don't do anything, or our county couldn't, they'd bankrupt our county real quick.
And to answer that question in another way, that's what I wanted to let these
Yeah.
guys speak to, what are we doing proactively? As somebody comes to us, any large-scale development, we did with the solar fields and the solar farms, we negotiate the road use agreement with them. If they come for abatements, which the data center did not come for abatements, if they come for abatements, and we have some teeth to do some things with them as far as setbacks and stuff like that. But we try to negotiate to get the most money we can for that road use agreement so that we can do things to our infrastructure and to enhance the community. As we just mentioned to Lynn, 3 organizations were donated $1.5 million apiece. So we try to get those things, for what they want to grab, we try to grab back. because we don't have zoning, so we try to do what we can, so we can hopefully get better roads, get better bridges, do things with organizations. So,
Okay.
answer that
So-
question that way.
Just wanna reiterate, so like, as far as you guys are concerned, today without zoning, basically you guys are stuck with just abatements.
Well, if
road
they, and if they
usage,
don't ask for
if they-
abatement, yes.
If they ask for
Road
it,
use agreements, what we
and
have.
road use agreements, so as of right now, that is kind of where you guys stand as far as what you can and cannot do.
Correct.
Okay. So then, if a company decides to develop a large-scale industrial facility in Sullivan County, moving forward, I guess, what is your hopes? I know you had mentioned, specifically regarding zoning, and you referenced that nobody wants that. Have you guys actually done a public forum to allow all of your constituents to, voice their opinion
There
instead of,
was, I
just
can't
let
remember
them
what
run?
year, Beth, you remember when they done that?
I don't remember.
It's been a while back,
It's
I
been a
know.
while back, Mark's been gone a long time.
Yeah.
But the county did not want zoning,
It
there
was-
was zoning, if I remember right.
Pardon?
Wasn't there zoning at one time and it was terminated?
It's terminated, yeah.
Because the people, the residents did not want it. And Mark's been gone 19 years, and it was before he died that was done.
So this was 19+ years ago. You have new generation, that's up in the area that can make these decisions and can voice their opinion. With the data centers coming out, has anybody decided to have a public forum to get our opinion? Instead of using a 20-year-old opinion?
I haven't had anybody come to me wanting to pass it.
Okay, have you asked anybody?
I mean, we talk about it all the time, everywhere we go, restaurants and everything, I mean, people talk about it all over.
Okay,
But-
See, I've talked with some younger generations, and there's a lot that would like to have the discussion on it, on, do I personally want zoning? No, I don't want somebody to tell me to do with my property. I'll tell everybody that, plain and simple. I will not vote for zoning on a personal level, but if my constituents want it, I will follow my constituents. They're the ones that elected me to do this job, but my personal opinion of zoning, I don't want it.
and that's actually a fair argument, and one of the points that I wanted to raise, like, I do understand a lot of people don't want to be told what they can and cannot do with their property. So as far as a limited zoning or anything of that nature, just kind of moving forward, have you guys
To,
discussed? Yeah.
to comment about what you said, there's no such thing as limited zoning. It's like being pregnant or not pregnant.
Well,
You either got it all or you don't have any of it.
you can have
You can't
zoning,
do limited zoning, Bob, for industrial projects.
That's what I'm being told.
Yeah.
That's what I'm being told.
You need to look into it.
Okay.
Because I believe that it's possible in Indiana.
Okay.
There's several other counties that I've been reading about, just looking into that.
Okay, thank you.
so my understanding is you do have to have a full zoning, but you can have certain aspects within that zoning to make it limited to kind of where you're suggesting as far as industrial parks. And-
Yes, and that's part of it, but your whole county has to be zoned.
Correct, and I
Right.
understand that.
Yeah.
And I also understand that that process takes approximately 2 years, or at least that's what I've been told, is that it takes 2 years. So moving forward, do you guys agree that there needs to be some sort of discussion, not from 20 years ago, but currently, especially with all of the proposed data centers? I know, obviously, the Heartland project is already in place, right? We can't do anything about it. I'm not here to argue with what you can and cannot do with that one. But as far as moving forward, I know personally, across the street from my house, they are currently in the process of acquiring land to build a data center. Currently in the process of it.
Where's that at?
Right off the same highway, just a little bit further close to 41, in Benergy. They're currently in the middle of it.
Linton News published the plat map of it.
You say why now?
Linton News published a plat map of
I
it.
don't look at that.
It was like 1,100 acres.
They're behind Bob Fouch's house.
Okay. That's what Bob's calling me about.
Yeah.
He says that
So,
his opinion
moving
is
forward, I do
limited.
think personally, and I'm sure a lot of people in the county think that it's time that there needs to be some sort of discussion.
Well, we tried to go in for a moratorium after, started, and the lawyers in Indianapolis said definitely not. That would put us at harm's way,
Okay.
so.
So you're saying, like, as far as the attorney
That was
what
on this
basis?
moratorium, the zoning part was, we were talking about this, a moratorium for a while, give us a breathing room,
Mm-hmm.
and we couldn't do it, just unless we'd be liable, you know what I mean?
There's, like you said, they're trying to acquire properties, as you tell me, that if we get in the way of that, since that's a private transaction with the landowner, that we could be sued for the loss of income for that landowner
And the
Okay.
company.
and the company.
And the
And the
So
company.
I understand that, and taking mine out of the picture,
And that goes for anywhere, yeah.
right?
Just use yours, yeah, that goes for anywhere.
Right, but moving forward, I mean, do you think Sullivan County should put something in place? Should we plan for long-term, like what eventually is going to be Sullivan County? And what exactly did the attorneys up in Indianapolis state? Like, how would we lose the lawsuit? Like, is there
I don't
some
wanna get
sort
into a
of-
lot of the reasoning in an open meeting,
Okay.
obviously, because somebody hears this and then they know how to try to get around it or whatever. But Rick Hall definitely said that he doesn't think it's a good idea to try to do a moratorium. And he also said that we talked about limited zoning. He said he doesn't think that will work. He said that you're just opening yourself up. He said what you're gonna end up with is have people just push their way in here and they won't even come to us to discuss anything. And he said, that's what you're asking for. He said it will get worse before it gets better, in his opinion. And he is the specialist throughout the state. He does, all these solar farms. He's done several data centers. He's the state commissioner's attorney. So I think we got a guy that's considered an expert in this area. And that's been his thought process. We have discussed these things. We are aware of the issues.
And I will touch on one thing too, part of your zoning process is getting a comprehensive plan together. And JD, I'm looking at you because we're working with the city to do a couple of comprehensive plans through the community foundation.
Correct.
And those RFPs, have they gone out yet?
I emailed Harmony last week, the response was it should be soon.
Okay.
She's still got to line up a few things, but they have been completed, the scope of work and everything, to release that, so I'm anticipating any day, but yes, the county has a comprehensive plan, the city has a comprehensive plan, thanks to the Wabash Valley Community Foundation.
And that is not the reason we did this, because there are so many things, more options available for grants and stuff with the comprehensive plan. But that's one thing that's gonna be required for zoning too. So that's gonna be a tool in our toolbox already,
Okay.
if it goes to that point.
Okay, so one thing I do wanna bring up, and I understand the legal argument, and all of that, but one thing I do wanna bring to your attention is Boone County, for example. Boone County has the metadata center. I'm sure you guys have probably seen it on the news. That project was already started. The county actually placed a moratorium themselves and are currently in the process of setting up the zoning, kind of like what we were talking about as far as zoning, limited zoning. What makes Sullivan County different than Boone County?
Did Boone County have everything in place already on the zoning?
Yep,
That's the difference.
the
We
meta
didn't
data
have it,
center.
yeah.
We have Heartland project that's already been started.
Yeah.
The metadata center in Boone County had already been started.
And they do have zoning now, or they don't have zoning?
Currently they are in a moratorium, in the process of going over all of their options,
But,
basically putting a
but
pause
before
on
that
everything.
happened, are they already zoned? No, do they have zoning or not?
I assume they probably do, because Rick was telling me that we're
Yeah.
one of the few counties, I mean, he's talking like 2 or 3 in the whole state
Right.
that doesn't have zoning, and that's why they're coming.
There's 19 counties in Indiana that don't have zoning.
Is that what he said? He said we're the big minority, is what he told me. I can ask him how many, but it's my understanding he said a handful.
So as far as Sullivan County, like, do we have anything moving forward as far as trying to
We've
pursue-
talked to attorneys like in northern Indiana with the data center.
So Boone County does have zoning,
Yeah. That's what they're at.
so that's why they could put in a moratorium,
Yeah.
they have zoning.
He's saying if we have zoning, that changes a lot of these answers.
Oh, yeah, it does.
Change a lot of.
Yeah, I think if that's something Sullivan County would consider, that changes the way we could handle a lot of this.
Park County, I don't believe has zoning, and they put in, the commissioner just came out and said flat out, they didn't want data centers. He didn't want the county, the rural aspect of it being.
Well, I think anybody can come out and say that, but then the
I mean,
question,
commissioner said it.
yeah, I mean, they
They
could
can,
say
but
that, but how are you
they
gonna
can't
stop
back it
them when
up.
they got billions
Well,
of
they put a
dollars?
moratorium in
Well, how are you gonna stop them?
That only stops them for a
Well,
year.
it slows them. I mean, right now, they're just wanting to speed everything through before anybody knows what's happening.
I mean, they're throwing $54.5 million here to this county. This county couldn't come up with $54 million to fight them on anything.
Heck, let's just let them build everywhere. Let's just decimate the whole county. Why not?
Don't get me wrong, everybody's concerned about this, but I'm
It's,
just
it's
being
a statewide
upfront
problem,
with
it's not just here, where, I mean, we're talking to attorneys in Atlanta, Georgia, Wyoming, different data centers going in there, a lot of them here in Indiana, trying to figure out different angles to get after this, you know what I mean, but,
And don't think you're not being heard.
no.
We're just
No.
trying to figure out how we can do this without being sued and being the poorest county in Indiana because we have no money at all. So don't think you're not being heard.
I get it. I just don't want 10 years from now, this county's just rim-wrapped, all this stuff.
I get it. We have to do things the best way we can do it too. So,
So
Go ahead.
currently, where are we, like, as far as a process is concerned? Are we still trying to figure out a process? If
For-
so, like, where we're going moving forward, what are we gonna do? Are we gonna do, you know, the open forum for everybody? Again, I understand a lot of people don't wanna be told what they can and cannot do with their property, but don't you think it's fair to say that, you know, yes, we wanna protect the rights of, you know, said property owner that can sell their land to, you know, the data centers to make some money, and I'm not mad at them, I probably would do the same thing. But what about us property owners that have to sit there and look at a data center and listen to a data center day in and day out? What are our rights and what are you guys willing to do to help us out?
I mean, I didn't entertain a conversation, you know? I mean, we get.
Like I said, that's what we're having a conversation, all these lawyers all over the state, trying to figure out what they're doing and what we could do, get them put in the door. But Rick Hall, the guy we have hired out at Barnes Thornsburg, right?
yes.
And one of the best in the state, you know what I mean? And that's what he sort of guides us through some of this right now to keep from getting sued.
This says Park County does have zoning,
Okay.
and it actually says there's 12 counties in the state that don't have, so that's more than I thought, but a little less than you thought.
So just to put that out there, so it appears that something needs to be done via zoning, and if it takes a 2-year process to get this done, or even do a public forum to see if, you know, the county wants it done, what are we gonna do moving forward? Or, I'm not asking you guys to make a decision today.
And I think to get something that would be binding, do we have to put it on the ballot? Terry, have a referendum to put on, to get something binding? Now, I can get the opinion of everybody here, but is that legally binding in any way whatsoever?
We don't know enough we have.
Well, I mean, I think you.
Exactly. So I'm asking that question. Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
yeah.
So is this something that we can kind of start having meetings and you guys kind of let us know as the, you know, county, like, hey, these are the steps we're taking, this is where we're currently at, this is our goal, whether it's to, you know, do zoning, not do zoning? Like, can we set something, like an expectation, you know, for the community, for you guys, so that we're informed of what's going on? Because again, if we don't have the information, people make assumptions, rumors start, and that's kind of where we're at today. Nobody really knows anything or where it's going, and it's scaring people.
Well, and I will tell you too, as somebody already said, those people are here for a year before we even knew it. It's your neighbors, the landowners that are selling the property, and I don't wanna have to throw them under the bus, but that's what it comes down to, is people that are selling their property that we can't do anything about, and then we get slammed and beat over the head and back and shoulders about it.
I'm not here
We're-
to beat you guys up.
No, but I'm just
here to
telling you,
get-
it's what
get
happened,
information
you're
out.
being very respectful, and I appreciate that, but it's happening all over Facebook. We take all this crap from everybody when there was nothing we could do about what happened. Now,
So is there a way you can gain something?
that's what we're trying to figure out at this point in time, because it hit us blindside. We're trying to figure out at this point in time what we can and cannot do legally,
Okay,
so.
okay.
Yours is the public got blindsided. You guys don't get blindsided, we got blindsided.
Well, we got blindsided. Yes,
Okay, here's what I wanna ask, Bob. On the deal, $4.5 billion. Okay, Terry just sat there and said that these firms have billions and billions of dollars, trillions of dollars, which they do. Where do we come up with $54.5 million? Is that what they threw at you?
when they announced that they were gonna do this, and Nancy, Colson, Nancy Smith, I may ask you for some statement here in a minute. There was a project that, Nancy, I'll just let you say it again because you said it very well before, the change from the Deriva project to the Hartman. If you would speak, I would really appreciate it.
All I can tell people, and I've said several times, is they approached us and they wanted to buy the property. And the problem is that property was under a lease with Deriva. And they could not do anything until those leases went away. Actually, Heartland announced before the leases, we did an amendment to agree on the leases with Deriva. So the community knew before it was a final deal and way before we got any money. So I understand that people don't believe that, but I'm here to tell you that is what happened.
It was probably maybe a month before all this happened that we started negotiating.
So.
And that's, I mean, and it had.
Before that, there's documents to show it.
See, I think that's.
There's no documents, but we didn't have any, nothing, we had 2 meetings only.
It'll come out.
Well, I'm glad it does, so.
Right now, this young lady has the floor. We've recognized her to have the floor, so let her finish her speaking. If you'd sit down, please.
Thank you. I'll just finish it up. I understand, it kind of gets to be a touchy subject. I just wanted to make sure that was out there in hopes to get some sort of timeline from you guys, not necessarily a decision, but a timeline to keep us, the community, informed and possibly have an open forum to determine what your constituents actually want. So I'm not making you guys decide tonight on the zoning moratorium or any other planning tools as far as an answer is concerned. If you guys determine that no additional planning tools are appropriate, I just, respectfully ask that you guys provide us a why.
Okay.
And that's all.
Thank you very much.
I'll kind of add something real quick. The zoning is one of the, and I've talked to a couple different lawyers, nothing official, just off the books.
Mark, you want to introduce yourself? Some people may not know who you are.
Sorry, I'm Mark Hyatt, for those of you in Facebook land that don't know me, or the new people tonight.
County council member.
Yeah. But anyway, like you said, the zoning could take 2 years, and as fast as, think about what's already happened in 2 years. It is a little bit concerning that if we start this process, and then it drags out 2 years to get it in, are all the projects already done, is it too late?
But if we don't start it, then nothing's
I
gonna happen.
It's just something I wanted to throw
Yeah,
out there.
no, I totally
think
get that,
about, because
but we don't do something today, it pushes it out,
Maybe
one more day.
maybe too little, too
weeks,
late, or it
and
might
it
work,
could be.
I don't know. But it is something to keep in mind too.
Well, with that being said, I'll throw something out there. I'll entertain a motion to pursue zoning. Is anybody gonna make that motion?
Could you just have a meeting and let people tell you what they want?
I would like to put it on a referendum, I mean, that's what we gotta do anyway, but then again, it's 2 years out before we get it on a referendum.
I don't think we need to, I don't think we need to per se pursue zoning right now. I think we need to have conversations on how we're gonna do it. I don't think we just need to jump right in because there's other constituents out there that's not in this meeting that might have a different opinion than what Ashley has or, I have, or, we need to have a conversation, I believe. I don't think we need to just go right into it. I think there's a lot of conversation that needs to be had. Yes, does it need to be looked into? Absolutely. But for me, like I said, I work for the people. I will go with what the people want, whether it's the majority doesn't want it, the majority does want it. I'll go with whoever, because they're the ones that elected me. But like I said, I will tell you straight up right now, my personal opinion, I don't want it. And that's just how I feel. And I'm just being blunt honest with you. But like I said, you guys are the ones that elected me. It's, I'll go with the majority. I mean, that's just how I am.
And I can go right along with Brant. Hang on a second. I can go right along with Brant as a personal landowner. I don't want zoning, but as an elected official, I see the benefits of it more and more and more. So I will make that statement and leave it there. Donnie, one question, then we're gonna go on because we have somebody else on the.
I just have a question. When you say you don't want to, does it concern you guys that there might be 6 to 8 of these things in our county?
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
Is it
I'm
concern
2
you
miles
guys
from
at
the
all?
one that's going out there now.
Okay, I just wondered if
Yeah, I mean, I live right there. I wanna be able to see it just like, yeah. She's in New Lebanon, she's gonna see it, I'm gonna see it, you know, Christie's gonna see it. I mean, yes, it concerns me. I'm gonna, you know, have to test my well water. I don't know what's coming out of that, you know? Do I want it? No, I don't, but how am I gonna stop it? And like you said, you know, I'm one of three. Personally, do I want it? No, because I wanna build whatever I want on my property. I pay taxes on it just like you do. And you don't want somebody to say you can't build a barn or a house or tear down your house and build a new house. I mean, that's the thing, you know, it's a double-edged blade.
But I think it's worth it to just not have all those things built.
I'm not saying it's not worth it, you know, but that's what I said, we need to have the discussion. The conversation needs to start. And whatever the constituents want, I'll be more than happy to go along with the majority.
Grant, I'd like to ask you to head that task force up then, if you're interested in doing that.
I mean, we'd have to have commission sessions, I mean.
That's fine, but
yeah.
if you'd be willing to head that up, I'd
Yeah,
ask
I
you
mean,
to
we
do
can
that.
definitely have this conversation,
Okay,
but I don't think we need a motion right now to pursue it.
okay, that's why I wanted to bring that up. Okay. All right, now we have, on our new business here, we have Sarah Borders.
Okay, building on that, my idea was ordinances. Can we put ordinances in place to protect the water, the air, you know, all the things that are coming from this development? Like you said, you're worried about your well water.
I've asked those same questions, Sarah, and without zoning, your ordinances don't have any teeth. You don't have anything to back you up. Yeah.
And most of these large companies are going through IDEM. That's the thing. IDEM, the Indiana Department of Environmental Management. So that's, we don't issue those permits. We don't have that authority.
Because you know, like minus, like, you know, a lot of these data, if you read about them, they won't tell you how much water they're gonna use till it's in operation.
Yeah.
It's like a secret, they won't tell you until it's working.
And Sarah, did you have something else to discuss? Because we've already worked on this subject. Did you have something else you wanted to discuss?
Yeah, I was concerned about the block cameras also. I
Okay.
just wanted to know, like, where they came from, who approved them.
Okay, I'll tell you right now, the commissioners have nothing to do with that, but after I got your email, I talked to the sheriff. I'll give the sheriff a couple minutes to explain the flock cameras, and then we'll go on.
What's your question?
I just wanna know who approved them, where did this come from?
We've had
Is
them-
it taxpayer
we've had them-
dollars?
yes. We've had them 5 years. Sheriff Cotton got the contract, he signed the contract and got the council's approval for the money. Is that your question?
So it's the county council, not the commissioners that had?
The council appropriates the money for, it comes out of my budget.
And you said 5 years ago?
I think it was early in 2022. I wasn't the sheriff then.
So how long is the contract good for? Is there a time on it, has to be renewed after so long? Or-
I would think so, but I've not had to renew it, so I'll look at
Can I
it.
get some more information?
Yeah,
on it?
yeah.
Okay.
Did you have any questions about it? I mean, I don't want to take up the time of commissioners.
No, I told you I'd give you a couple minutes to explain if you had any questions.
Yeah, just about oversight, like,
It is audited by 3 people, myself, the chief deputy, and so people don't think the police are policing the police. My secretary audits it as well, I can't talk. So there's not a non-police officer. She only has access to audit. So the way it works is if someone is abusing the system, it flags it and sends us an email as admin rights.
and does all the data collected stay like in-house? per
Yes.
se?
Yes, and if you drive past one and we don't care if you're gonna get ice cream, you know what I mean? It goes away. I think it's 30 days. 30 days it goes away.
And what all information do they actually collect on the vehicles? Is it
If a
just the license plate? or
Yeah,
is it-
well, it takes a picture of the vehicle with the license plate. But it's, you can't, there's no facial recognition, you can't see who's in the vehicle, it's just a photo, and quite frankly, a lot of them are at night, and you can't even hardly make out a color. So, there's no speed, it doesn't track your speed, and I will say that it's a great investigative tool, and I think Clark, the prior sheriff, would say the same thing. He was elected to do his best to protect the citizens and the communities, and it is a valuable new tool
saved an abducted kid that was abducted from up around Chicago.
In our county?
Yeah, they stopped him about Shelton, didn't they?
Yeah, it was a 41, 48.
We've recovered countless stolen vehicles, hit and runs. And I'll say this, and I don't like mentioning this part of it, but if we would have had this in 2012, it wouldn't have taken us this long to solve that. Some of you probably saw on the Facebook about there was a battery at the city pool. I don't know if you guys saw that. We got pictures of it from the camera, in the pool's camera. I sent it out, blasted it all over Facebook. Nobody knew who they were. Nobody recognized them. We couldn't figure out who they were. Flock, with the description of the vehicle on the camera that left, where the guy got in. Flock is what led us to find those two guys. And they're in jail.
We didn't ever found out who that was.
Yeah, people didn't recognize the photos because they weren't even from around here. They were from Illinois.
So whose decision was it? Was there any public input when they signed this contract, or was it just?
Remember,
It was discussed in open meetings, yes.
I thought it was. I mean, he was the clerk to sheriff when it started. So. Yeah, I can let you know how long the contract's good for. Okay. You got my email address?
No.
I'll write it down here.
Okay, thank you.
Actually, I'll put it in there.
All right, that being all of our agenda business, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor? Thank you, everybody.